Hello, 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 and welcome back to the StrawHatLucas YouTube channel. It's me, StrawHatLucas, that guy, that dude, him, if you will. I, of course, am joined today by Kube of the Red Sea, my right-hand man, the dude, the historian of the entire One Piece community. This man knows the book front to back. How we doing today, Kube?
Hey man, listen, I'm excited for what seems to be the last chapter of the year, and I hope you all filthy animals are having a great Christmas.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
And a Happy New Year. And I'll be honest with you, we had a good year with Oda.
We did.
I almost dropped the F-bomb.
Yeah, he thankfully was in good health for most of the year, didn't take too many long breaks, which is a sign of his health, really. Oda will only take a break if his health is really bad and stuff like that, but I hope he is out there taking care of himself. That's all I want for New Year's is, you know, Oda to take better care of himself, and all mangaka for that point. Also, Dexter said to tell you, you're not him, bro. Don't know what that's about, but we're rolling with it. So let's dive right in. We have a banger cover with Luffy in the front, of course, because he's you know, kind of like a little poster boy of shonen right now.
Of course, he's the best MCs of all time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna start
kind of. 1170 contradictions. Dexter said he loves you. I love you, Dex. I miss you, brother. We need to get in VC soon. I only have time to VC when I'm streaming or playing D&D, and it sucks right now. 1170 contradictions. Cover request by 420 Ian. That's hilarious. Jinbei is a ticket clerk for an eel train serving bentos. This is adorable, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love how Robin is a teenager, but the rest of them are kids. Canon.
Actually, you know what? You know what I like? Because if you there's just that someone brought it up about Robin, and it comes from the movie Z, where, you know, when if you see the movie Z, they get turned to kids, right, at one point because of their ability.
Yeah.
Some point point that the reason why Robin despises, and at one point she was sent to a teenager and to an 18-year-old, and she was so upset, and people explain why, and she always has a resentment towards kids because of what she went through as a child.
Yeah.
So you think that Oda has an active reasoning that even though Robin, you know, loves kids, those kind of stuff, she never wants to think of her as a child because it's literally, you know, her whole childhood.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, her whole childhood was terrible.
Yeah, and so he explained that many times you'll see that Robin will always be late teens or 18, and that's around the age where she was able to fight for herself because she teamed up with Warforks.
Yeah,
it's quite interesting. So I found it very interesting that it's still consistent now, where you see her definitely like in the 17 ages.
Yeah. So let's get into the chapter. I'm itching, Cube. The Hammer's sneak attack. Ooh, Ragnar! Bastard! Who threw that hammer? Come on out! There's gotta be someone here. Whatever, I have to eat the devil fruit. Chitter, chitter, squeak, squeak, crack, crack. Oh, so it is his own type devil fruit. Let's go. Whoa, you've gotta be kidding me. There's no way it's that heavy. The hell is going on? Is this decrepit old castle just falling apart? Slam. Ragnar's literally destroying the floor. Your efforts are futile, Loki. Generations of rulers have watched over that devil fruit, yet for centuries it has gone uneaten, not by choice, but because no one could eat it. Ragnar simply hasn't deemed anyone worthy, but with my current strength. Here comes Scopper. Scopper, walk him down, Gabon. Those
I have to say,
yeah.
I have to say, shout out to our friend Ragnar, but it's Ragnar.
Ragnar. Did I say Ragnar? He's my boy.
Yeah, you said Ragnar. That's how it's dead. Yeah. That's why. That's why I was laughing because I heard Ragnar. I said, "Oh, shout out to our bro Ragnar."
Those wounds are already causing him a lot of pain. His healing abilities are struggling to keep up. Don't let up and he'll eventually be driven into a corner. Folks like him are weak too. Conqueror's hockey coding. Okay, so they're coding shit with conquerors. instead of armament. That's tough. That's
dude,
That's tough.
we called it. I mean,
Yeah,
remember when we spit on it and I talked about how with Logia we had to use armament for Logias. I said, what if Conquerors has to be the go-to for it? We called it.
My boy. Yes. Yeah, we called that shit. We called that shit so hard. I mean, it was obvious, right? It was obvious that it was because we've seen so much with armament coding that, and then we saw with Rio and Wano, like there's more to Conquerors as well. So Conquerors coding makes so much more fucking sense.
And we needed something. I think this is what Conquerors Hockey needed, because Conquerors Hockey became irrelevant the moment we went to
vexyz,
because knocking out people was not going to cut it anymore, because anyone with strong hockey could withstand even a Conquerors Hockey blast. So we needed that there's more to Conquerors, like armament, like what observation with Future Sight and what Future Star was able to do. Armament hockey. We needed that special thing for Conquerors, so I think it's really good for Conquerors. It does give it more layers. It's not just, oh, I use Conquerors Hockey, you can knock out, so then it becomes useless if it doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's Dylan Chess said, I mean, we did see overwhelming Conquerors Hockey break Devil Fruits, and even further Joy Boys Hockey breaking the Gorsei. Exactly, it broke the transmission to Egghead completely. Like, it sent them back to Maurice Wall. Yeah, so Conquerors is definitely like the end all be all when it comes to the hockey system. I think like there's gotta be a way to fuse it with observation too. We'll see. Let's read the chapter. Don't let up. All right, Conquerors Hockey coding. You dare oppose me? You bet. We can't let you run wild just because you've gone crazy. Gaban-san, you're familiar with the weaknesses of the Knights of God? I can't remember how many times they tried to take you back. That red-haired boy, we know you have him. He looks just like our captain's son. Hand him over. Back then, I'd slice him up and we'd send him packing. Oh yeah, that Summers guy. It's Sommers, and that throws me off every time TCB puts Summers. That Sommers guy did mention that, something like that. Those were the days. Frankly, it's surprising that a fighting force like that originates from the Holy Land. Most celestial dragons are useless. Those guys consider themselves divine, living sedentary lives and keeping well clear of our world. Meanwhile, my life's always giving me the chills. You can call that fate. Ooh. I like how he says that.
You want a definition? You want a synonym for sedentary? Because I did not know what it meant.
It's sedimentary, kind of, right? Like just settling.
No, basically, it's a person who basically what we say with St. Carlos, people who almost do nothing in life. They just have leisure. Yeah. Lifestyle occupation with little physical activities, a lot of lying down, minimal exercise. So I did not know. So in case you know.
No, yeah, you're good. Dill said unconfirmed but heavily speculation is observation killing comes from Conquerors with observation. Yeah, that makes a lot of fucking sense actually. Like a lot of sense.
What did he say?
That observation killing hockey is Conquerors mixed with observation.
Oh yeah, I do agree.
Yeah,
but
makes a lot of sense.
Or like that ability that Mihawk has done and Shanks has done to Green Bull, Mihawk to Luffy in One Piece Red, Yasop putting his observation hockey vision into Usopp. This also has to be a facet of what happens when you make certain facet of observation hockey. The one that Shanks does to kill hockey is for Future Sight. I think we know there's another aspect of it to sense emotions. I think that's the other facet when you do Conquerors, when you use emotions.
Yeah, because observation is sensing intent. Like that's like one of the parts of it. Gaban-san, I want to save Harold, but you're the one who told me how hopeless it is once someone becomes a god knight. I'm afraid Loki's our best bet. Don't make me repeat myself. Move it, Hammer. Wheeze. So you're basically the National Treasure's guardian? How can you even move? What is going on? I am so over this. And Loki smashes his original hammer on Ragnir. Let's go. God, my hammer. Ooh, it's a chipmunk? Or is it a squirrel? Eek, she. Be gone. How are we supposed to end this? Well, honestly, I've never fought one who has conquerors too. Stop. Oh, so the God Knights don't have conquerors. Some of them don't. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Well, actually, it makes sense because it's like one in like however many. Soldiers.
No, not even that. Think of the lifestyle. If you grow, it makes sense. The only ones we've seen with celestial lineage that has conquerors for sure is Shanks and Doflamingo. What is the problem?
Yeah.
They weren't born in the Holy Land. It could be because of growing up as a
Doflamingo
always
was
getting
born
what
in the
you
Holy
want.
Land. He didn't leave the Holy Land
What?
until he was like Doflamingo was. He was born in the Holy Land. He didn't leave the Holy Land until he was like 5 or 6.
Yeah, dude. And what age is he when we saw him? 41 years old. You know what I mean? He left most of his life. I'm saying that if you are born and bred with a silver spoon, you can't be a conqueror if since you were a child, if for 40, 50 years you've been licking Emu's boots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Soldiers. We cut to Yarul, the boy. Jarul, baby. Soldiers, stop Harold. We can't allow him to get his hands on that devil fruit. Oof. The soldiers are getting slaughtered. Yeah, so Ragnir is a chipmunk. What the? Oh, this is Loki eating the devil fruit. I would say a squirrel.
He looks like a squirrel as well, so it's one of the two.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like it was. The reason why is because people brought up a panel. So basically, big of Elbaf when they were partying with the people, and Jar was telling all the legends around everyone. Someone said someone showed a panel of a squirrel on the nearby looking. So that's why I'm wondering if that could be the same squirrel. But anyways, chipmunk, squirrel, rodent.
Norse mythology. Makes me think that the Gorseis conqueror hockey is actually Emu's hockey and not their own. Ooh, that is a very good point, Lucas. That is a very, very, very good point. Because we have seen that Emu completely manipulates the Gorsei, giving them their power and everything else. So, like, it would make sense that they're channeling Emu's hockey as well. Squeak! Are they not going to reveal Loki's devil fruit, I guess? That's okay. Show me its legendary power. Oh, this panel's one of those ones that's broken up all weird. Okay. Did you eat it, Loki? Show me its legendary power. Man, this is some really crazy action, actually. You have the blood of a conqueror flowing inside you. Hey, if you've come back to your senses, then it won't last. Don't drop your guard. Look around. I'm beyond redemption anyway. You were being controlled, weren't you? Oh, poor Loki, dude. Not quite. It's more like that thing is influencing my thoughts. I started to consider myself a god. You have what it takes to lead Elbaf well. Try to get along more with your brother, though. You're the worst, you know that? Having your own son take your life? What kind of a father does that? One last thing I almost forgot. I wanted to thank you about Ida. What are you? Burning down Alcohol Village didn't make her better, but I was touched by how much you loved her. Oh, man. Oh, it's because he broke the seal, which confirms that's why Shanks lost his arm. That's crazy. Was touched. I feel so bad for Loki. Hurry, it's taking me over again. I'll never forgive you for making me do all the dirty work here. I love you too. Fuck me, bro. Oh. And then a conqueror's clash. It's the lightning from Ragnir as he kills Harold. Loki, my dear son, the only thing that really matters is securing Elbaf's future. Oh, poor fucking Loki, dude. Only memories last. Dill.
I'm calling it right now because I did a reread now. Especially now Shanks and Scopper definitely were there the whole time in Ja Rule. I think 6 years ago. If the legendary fruit has to be used with Luffy's fruit, or needs to assist Luffy, I think 6 years ago the reason why they locked up Loki, that's why Loki called Shanks a coward, just like Buggy. It wasn't because they locked him up in a cowardly way. I think it's just like Buggy. Loki said, "I'm going to the Holy Land to have vengeance for my father," and then especially Scopper and Shanks couldn't because Luffy wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
And I had to lock him up. That's why when Luffy was ready, Scopper gave him the key. I think that was what he meant coward. It wasn't about he was upset about. It was more like they exchanged information, but Loki said, "No, I'm the new king of Elbaf, and we're going to war." And it wasn't time yet.
Yeah.
I'm calling that. I think that's what he meant. because this makes so much sense than with the story we got. Like, it was no one knows really what did down. I think they had to cover it up because of Loki. Which, again, I'll be honest with you, do we blame the way Loki is written? Right, we've seen how he is, the type of character. Yeah. Do we blame him for wanting to crash out at the polymer?
Definitely not.
No.
I just have to say, everyone's been talking about Rox being such a well-rounded, well-written character. I think Loki's a contender as well for this year. I mean, we said it from his first introduction that Loki did nothing wrong. This proves it. Loki did nothing wrong. He did what he had to do, and this is just heartbreaking. Like Lucas said in the chat, Loki lost to everyone who ever loved him, both his father and his mother and his brother. The only other person that he could have any kind of good relationship like that despises him because he believes he killed his father, and that is just such a tragic tale. And I really... Yeah.
I was gonna say, think of Harold. Don't you see something interesting about Loki's interaction with Harold at the end, with the delve with everything that's been going on?
Hold on, let me finish my thought real fast.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're okay. I have to say that, like, you've brought up many times the parallels to Dressrosa that we've seen with Harold and stuff like that. I think this is basically the inverse of Doflamingo's story. It's a royal bloodline where, the son kills the father and commits patricide, and we see that it's, in this case, it's justified, where with Loki, there is some justification behind why he did it with the trauma that his father put him through by taking him from Marie-Joie, but at the same time, like, he did it, you know what I mean? I mean, it's violent. It's not the same as what happened with Harold. With the implication of that, and then the parallel to King Riku that you had spoken of as well, like, this is just Oda has been in his bag all year.
The desperate and naive king trope. Just he did different with Harold, where it's a king that could have done something, but he is alone and he takes all the wrong and stupid decisions.
Yeah,
because he's not taking counsel.
So
with that being said,
go ahead. No. Say what you were. Yeah.
No, because I'm happy you didn't let me interrupt you, because you actually went to the direction I wanted. You talk about the inversion of the father-son trope. Yeah. You're talking about the Flamingo. Don't you find it interesting? It's a parallel and an inversion to a Whitebeard and Blackbeard in Marineford.
Ooh.
Take the son, taking out the father.
Yeah.
Taking a fruit that had a connection to the father, and the way Harold is taken out, he says goodbye. He says goodbye to all his sons, Whitebeard except Blackbeard. While in this one, he is saying specific goodbye to the son who's taking him out, and we don't see it, but Harold is still, the last panel of him being taken out, he is standing up.
Yeah.
Just like Whitebeard. You get the same trope. The great father, except in this situation, Harold is one who messed up all the time, while Whitebeard did it, but wanted to cover for his son.
Yeah.
There's definitely a similarity to
there's a lot of similarities. So I have to speak real quick too. Lucas in the chat, you said Loki is the true inheritor of Zebek and Harold's wills. I didn't at first. I was like, I don't see Zebek's, because Zebek kind of, he wanted to sit on the empty throne and become the rightful heir of the world, kind of thing. But I see it, because if Loki, like, hear me out, this is crazy. This is dumb. But if Loki becomes a Straw Hat, and they elected a Straw Hat to sitting on the throne, like, Loki's the one that would fit. He would be the one that would fit on the empty throne because of how massive that fucking thing is. Loki made himself the scapegoat for his father's sins. He played the villain to keep his people safe and his father's name untarnished. Exactly. He allowed his father's legacy to continue, and everyone speaks of him as only the good king that they understand. And I think that Heisruden learning all of this too will help him understand why Loki did what he did, and maybe look at his brother in a more positive light. I really have enjoyed the relationship written for Heisruden and Loki so far in Elbaf, and I'm excited to get back to it, especially with the full story in front of us, what happened to Harold and why Loki did what he did.
So remember how I told you I needed more before thinking of Loki with anything, even Grand Fleet with the Straw Hats? This is my prediction. Ready? Because I have that same thought that you had for Loki for so long for Yamato. I think Yamato will join because Mom will ask him to finish Yamato to finish the journal, and Seta will join it. I think Hajuden and Loki will lead Elbaf together. Hajuden will decide to stay behind to protect the people. Loki's role will be to be the king abroad, following the Straw Hat Grand Leader or Straw Hat member, being the partner of Yamato. Because I think the way they fight, they're using. Now we know that the Ragnar lightning comes from when he did it was Loki, because it wasn't his Delphin. It's not from Ragnar, because Ragnar wasn't creating lightning by itself.
Yeah, when he was fighting Loki.
Both have obviously a legendary status. Both their fathers talk about how they are received some sort of national and legendary Delphoot of that land. And obviously with Loki, there's this whole ice theme, and literally Yamato is ice.
See, I don't know about that. If I'm being honest, I 100% agree with the Loki and Hydruden ruling Elbaf together. 100%, because it's kind of set up with the Domi Reversi, because both of you lead Elbaf and bring me Yalrul's head kind of thing is what she says to Dory and Brogy. So I do think that you're right there. I don't see him going with Yamato because of the Shirahoshi factor. I think if he's going to go with anyone that's Straw Hat adjacent like that, I think it's going to be Shirahoshi.
No. I mean, partner up.
Yeah.
Because pick up the Straw Hats right now. They seem to have always the same type of partner: Sanji, Zoro, Usopp, Nami, like in those kind of stuff. Since Yamato or Loki are going to join in, they're also going to join a group. I do think it's going to be this thing of people like Yamato and Loki will most likely have a lot of battles together because of how it's themed. They work so well. That's what I mean by that. And that partner up. I don't mean that they're going to be doing missions on their own. I think they're going to be with the Straw Hats, but when shits go down, it'll be mostly Yamato and Loki doing something very similar.
I think
holding it down.
If Yamato or Loki joins the Straw, oh shit, my phone fell. Loki joins the Straw Hat, actually, it will be in the capacity that Odin had joined the Roger Pirates. We're just going on this trip together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I see that as well.
I get your skepticism considering Yamato, but Loki, since his introduction, has been written more like a Straw Hat than any other candidate since Jinbei. 100% agree, Lucas. That was actually when me and Cube first read the chapter of Loki's introduction, we both were like, he's tied up exactly like Zoro was, which is mirroring that. His backstory, now that we know it in full, reminds me a lot of multiple different Straw Hats backstory. I mean, losing the father figure, like Frankie lost his, and then Nami lost her mother, of course. And then he also lost his mother. It's like Oda took all of the most terrible fucking things of every Straw Hat's backstory. Robin being unloved as a child, like Frankie losing, like I said, his father, Nami losing her mother, and just combine them all into one. Same with Usopp losing his mom, like from a sickness. I mean, at that, like you have some. It's so right there.
What you say about Loki is the thing I said at Yamato back then, because if you think about it, the story of Yamato is very similar to Brook.
Yeah, in a way.
Locked away, couldn't. Yeah. So that's what I do. Me, I still believe Yamato will be a Straw Hat. But now, like I believe as well, Loki will be one, because I think we've got all the components for it.
Yeah, so. I think Yamato my only skepticism with it, like I said, is I think because of their tie, like his tie, my bad, to Kazuki Odin. I think that he will want to, like he did, he wanted to make the pilgrimage around Wano like Odin did, and I think he will want to join the Straw Hat crew briefly, like Yamato, like Odin did. That's what, if you remember, I thought that the Yamato cover story was going to end with Yamato leaving with Cross Guild, and it would be like that would Whitebeard taking Odin at first. That said, though, it's hard to say. We definitely know that Yamato is going to be a big player, or else they would have got that cover story. And then the Moria stuff too,
or White tell us that Momo and him were sad that the parts of Laughter were removed from the journals. White give us that information.
Yeah,
But anyway, we got. Okay, so I want to go back to the chapter because I have Usopp Fury, and as you know, we both love Usopp. He's on our top Straw Hats for both of us. You ready for this?
Yeah.
So Usopp in our park talked about he'll become a demon king, which another word for demon in Japanese is Oni, right? So an Oni king. And he also uses a hammer against Shu, which obviously is a fake hammer, but still uses a hammer, right? And that's when it also shows us that Usopp, because before that Usopp was never showing real feats. It was in Orange Park where he showed his real moment that he's worthy to be a Straw Hat, and he keeps talking about how he's unworthy, right, throughout the whole story.
Yeah,
I think we might get a Captain America Endgame moment with Usopp, where something will happen where Loki is not nearby for Ragnar, and then Usopp, for some reason, Ragnar will come to Usopp, and he'll will
I think
Ragnar
so as well. Actually,
during the battle, and that's how he's gonna find out. Then people say you could will Ragnar, because they talk about how for Ragnar you have to be worthy of the devil fruit, but they never talk about worthy of Ragnar. I'm not saying that I don't think he's going to get Ragnar, but there'll be a brief incident. Then the people Elba will tell him, "You just took Ragnar. No one could have before. You're the worthiest." And that's when Usopp will realize, "I'm a brave warrior to see. I am worthy."
Well, that's what I was going to say is, no, I've been preaching that for months. If you remember, that's what I thought. Preaching that, but I think so. You don't even have to sell me on it, brother. I 100% agree. I think that will be Usopp's moment, because it's something that will not take long to set up and has an instant gratification payoff. I mean, anyone who's a God Usopp fan will definitely see that moment, and if they're an MCU fan, be like, hell yeah. Even if they're not, they're going to be like, okay, that makes sense, because not only that, but Usopp Hammer, like you said. Usopp Hammer is one of Usopp's biggest fucking attacks. It's the one that everyone, like, I even have a soundboard on our Discord, link in the description, for the Usopp Hammer. Like, you know what I mean? It's iconic. It only makes sense that that's the direction that Oda would want to go with him. But getting back to this chapter, I do find it interesting that that's pretty much soft confirmation that Shanks losing his arm to that beast was no accident, in my opinion. I think he had it bite it off of him.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the dude's a fucking advanced conqueror. We've seen that he was at the level, he's at a high level, even at this point in his life, high enough to be a God's Knight, you know what I mean? Like, okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying, Lucas. That makes sense, actually. That adds a little bit more doubt to it then, and kind of, I don't know, it makes me lean more towards the Odin aspect, like I'd been saying earlier for him.
Can I ask something to what you're saying right now with Shanks?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I was just thinking, like, what was I talking about? I knew it was about Shanks, but I couldn't remember what it was. Yeah, cutting his arm off.
Because for Christmas, my nephew wanted to be nice, and he bought me the first volume of One Piece, which I don't have any more physical volumes, because a long time ago, when I was not good at school and a teenager, my dad had me sold all of my hard copies. So he's helping me redo a collection. And I found very interesting how at the beginning, how Shanks, not only that, he's for a full year, all the Roger pirates kept saying, red hair pirates saying, just let Luffy go on one adventure with us. And he said no. You ready for this? He did make a comment about the mark, that the lower mark is, as long as they are nearby to a territory of the God's Knights, they don't feel compelled to listen to the orders. I'm wondering also, this is why he was pushing him back as well.
I see what you're saying,
kids. Because what if he was at sea with Luffy, and he, even thinking of Luffy as might be a candidate, he would just strike him down out of impulse.
Yeah.
Just like that with Harold. I am wondering if also this is why when he was a kid, because it's for a full year, Lucky Roo and all of them. Only Bed Backman had Shanks' side. They didn't understand why he would not let him go on one adventure. And we also have that filler stuff of Uta, where Uta did go to adventures.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it's also because of that. Oda wrote that in, obviously, but this could explain it as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. And then when he departed, he knew he was just going to have to go to the New World. So he was like, hey, take this hat, become a good pirate.
Yeah. Can we talk about also something interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Ragnar is officially now, Ragnar is the oldest Devil Fruit weapon.
Yeah. He's been there for centuries. Which tells me that Devil Fruit weapons don't have a lifespan. Like, if they're a zone type, they don't die because they're an inanimate object controlling it. So how would you remove the Devil Fruit from that?
I mean, the same thing as how do you make Devil Fruits? How do you make black swords, you know? Yeah. I do think it's the same procedure almost. It's the ghost in the shell. Same ghost, same concept for ghost, different concept for shells. Like dials as well.
I feel you. You spitting. I get you.
But yeah, it's definitely a really great way to end the chapter. So I am now wondering something that's quite interesting, and it's so for some reason Jinbei can do anything to the god size, right? Brook neither. But Robin and Usopp were the only ones to actually damage it to a point that they were completely disintegrated, but then they came back, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if, we know that Nami and Usopp and Sanji are candidates of being the future one. I'm wondering, because we first saw Robin, it would make sense. I am wondering if the reason why Robin and Usopp were Robin, you can understand because of their foot a bit, but Usopp was able to fully destroy her with just pop greens.
Yeah.
Think about it. Jinbei was using his special karate. It did not even do anything.
Does Usopp have conquerors?
It's basically Oda is showing us that some of the Strahats who might have potential of conquerors. Meaning Robin. My thing is now it makes me think of Robin. And you think about what Robin went through.
Yeah,
it would make sense.
I've been on the Robin hockey train since Wano. You know what I mean? Like, Hey, thank you, Saint Shade. We love you around here. We do.
Yo.
Always love seeing you in chat. Well, yeah, we'll definitely see you next year. I'm glad to see you stop by. But no, I've been on the Robin hockey train. Usopp did lie and say he had conquerors in Wano, and as we all know, Usopp's lies become true. So like, I'm stepping in, like, I smell what you're stepping in completely. And with the Robin thing, like I said, I've been championing for her to get armament hockey for a long time because I think that it would just up her devil fruit abilities. And as we saw, Robin was not taking damage the way she usually does with her devil fruit when she was like her arms raised. Like, it was hurting her, but not to the extent that it usually does. You know what I mean? When Sommers was hurting her. So this could also be towards the hockey element as well, if she's somehow innately coding herself in conquerors or something of that effect, which is kind of a stretch just because we haven't seen anything of her. It's kind of an ass pull, but at the same time, like you said, with her backstory being what it is, and then also she just had one of the biggest emotional moments of her life reuniting with Saul, and emotional moments are what cause Conqueror's blooms, right? Yeah. The last thing she needed to get over was losing Saul, and then she found out he's alive. Now she's met up with him again. She knows he's proud of her and for surviving and everything. And
she's got something to fight for.
Exactly. She has something to fight for now. And then she sees these children, which, like you said, she has a huge soft spot for children. Soft spot for children going through misery because of how miserable her childhood is as well. And I told you, I feel like Robin will be the one to take out Sommers because they're setting up a fucking, not a rivalry, but do you think Robin awakened her devil fruit? I still think was her awakening. I don't know if Demonio Floor was her awakening or the level right before the awakening.
You ready for this?
Gear 2 almost. You know what I mean? Like, or Gear 3 would be, or 4 would be more of a fitting analogy. I'm gonna answer
to the first part, and the second part you're gonna love because I said about Robin's devil fruit.
Yeah.
But the first part is, so Sanji is a clear and Usopp as well. You know, I believe that he hasn't just shown it, but I do believe Jinbei has conquers hockey because he does something as Luffy with Zoro. He keeps making those comments about Nami, which we know at one point. It's very clear Nami will definitely have some sort of conqueror-esque ability at one point because of the stuff she does.
I told you, Hukaku sovereignty. Her and Usopp.
Yeah, we were big believers of that. The fact of he keeps saying it, and so I do have to. So those are the people with Robin right now. So here's my second part. So this is where I see with Delphus. Those are the people. Okay, think about this, right? Look at how the immortality and the regrowing thing of Summers and the God's Knights work, right? Mm-hmm. And then the yokai aspect of the Gorseis, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that Robin's abilities, her Delphut, were inspired by Domiversi, or that her Delphut inspired Domiversi? Think about it.
I don't know if it's the same concept of Domiversi or if it's a mimic of that power. You know what I mean?
Yeah, more like a mimic. I'm talking about the mimic. So it was always about growing limbs, those kind of stuff. What if Robin, in a way, it's like we've seen like a low-level version of what they could do, growing parts of your limbs, but she's been doing on other people except herself, and then she has a demon form. I'm wondering if it's a mimic to that ability where Domiversi also comes from. It could be something else as well. They both come from two different things. But I'm wondering if Robin's Delphut is much closer to what we're seeing Emu do.
Yeah.
In terms of abilities.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
There's all the facets of it. It's just, it's like, I don't want to say that, but it looks like it's almost like a Temu version of it. To some extent.
Well, like, I 100% agree there, because I think that all of Emu's abilities are just copied from other devil fruits. So I think there could be something to it.
All for one.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's not necessarily copy, or if they're just borrowing powers that Emu can replicate, because the sea devil, you know, we talked about this before, that the devil could be Nika, because the sea devil's the one that gave the devil fruits to the people, and then the mother sea was angered by this, and it would make sense if the devil fruits are kind of not an offshoot of Emu's power, but like are made in Emu's powers images, because Nika was like, if they have all of these, I need to make a counter of every single one of them. You know what I mean? Or something to that effect.
I mean, think about this, right? If Joyboy and Emu have been playing this chess game for 800 years, right?
Yeah.
Would it make sense? And, you know, I'm a big believer that devil fruits come from Joyboy because of all the stuff that's been said, you know. Yeah. And he is the sea devil, right?
If it's before his time, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like whoever is a sea devil, it's either Nika or Joyboy, and the mother sea is Emu, right? Cursing all of them, right?
Yeah.
Would it make sense that devil fruits, all the devil fruits, that come from that side, right? And they're dreams, they're not nightmares. Inside the summoning book of Emu, right, is all the different abilities are inside that book, are all the abilities that devil fruits have as well. It's identical. It's just the way they're using it. So while he is turning people into devil humans, devil men, devil people, they created devil fruits. But all the abilities are basically, you know what I mean? It's the same abilities in different ways. So it could make sense why they both play the chessboard. They're both good chess masters. They have the same pieces. They just do different moves with them.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if basically we could get all the different abilities from devil fruits for Emu, same way as with some stuff we don't know about the devil fruit aspect. We could get it from all the stuff that we don't know about Emu yet. We could see the devil fruits. So I'm wondering if it's that, like they have the same what would be the word? They have the same ammos, the same inventory.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, or like the same spells, kind of thing. Yeah. Because I still believe that Emu's ability is akin to the magic system that Oda had initially introduced in the story with Romance Dawn.
Yeah.
I love the idea of an anti-devil fruit. It's like the antithesis of every single devil fruit.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I like that idea a lot, Lucas. So what are your thoughts on the chapter, Cube? Give me final thoughts, give me a rating. What do we think for 1170 contradictions?
So it was going the direction we thought it was going to go with Harold, even though it is so hard to say. But it is interesting that we got the confirmation of Conqueror's Hockey, which I think it's Oda's way of saying that Conqueror's Hockey is rare in this world, but it's not unachievable. Because if that's the way, I don't see him having only like a strict minimum members of the crew having Conqueror's Hockey. So I do think there'll be a bit more people. So I do like the idea that Conqueror's Hockey is coming back in a big way, and he made a reasoning, like, you know what I mean? He made a reasoning why more people are going to get Conqueror's Hockey now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of who the enemies they have to face. Before it wouldn't make sense. So I love that he really made Conqueror's Hockey relevant again.
Did he set up a time skip, you think? No.
It's anime manga logic.
I mean, but they need to train in Conqueror's Hockey. There's no way, if Usopp and Nami do have Conquerors, like we said, that there's evidence of it. You know what I mean? There's gotta be another time skip or something.
No. My thing is that because of Luffy being Gear 5 and use Conqueror's Hockey, I think it's gonna be obviously Sanji, Zoro learning how to control it. Sanji, maybe this might be the arc where it comes out. Maybe Jinbei at best, and because think about it, there are only 4 of them. I mean, there are only 3 people on the island: Goku/Emu, Summers, and stuff like that. So I think it'll be just a select few. So most likely Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy, possibly Jinbei. But after this arc, I could see like there'll be a moment where think about it between Enies Lobby and Thriller Bark, when they were doing the docking system defense that Robin didn't want to do because it was too embarrassing. Frankie was there for he was barely there for a week with the crew, but they had off screen already made stuff like that. So I could see that might have not see it, but during the next few arcs on the sideline, they're being taught how to use hockey.
Yeah.
Just Oda's not showing it. It's like the Kobe scene. There was one moment where we realized, oh, okay, they've been training on the side. Now they're ready to show it to us. So I do think there'll be something like that. I do agree.
So
you're right.
Yeah, hit me with your rating, brother. What are we thinking?
Okay, so I was gonna put an 8 with everything we got it with the Herald and everything because it's spicy. No real conclusion. It's sad, it's spicy, those kind of stuff, but it's not like because also we were very already on the Loki side that Loki did nothing wrong.
Of course.
But I think that this is so great is what Scopper told us about them contentiously trying to get Shanks, which I always said it was weird that Shanks stayed with the Rushbard for so long. So they did try, revealing that most Godside don't have Conqueror's Hockey. That Ragnar is an old school, is the first, most likely one of the original Delphoid weapons. And knowing how to harm them now. I boosted to an 8.8.
Yeah, I think this is a solid 7. I'm not gonna lie. The stuff with Loki and Harold was one of the best written scenes in the entire flashback. I won't lie at all. So that boosted a lot of the chapter. But I think the rest of it, like, I'm getting tired of Silhouette Piece. Like, he should have revealed Loki's Devil Fruit this chapter. I'm not gonna lie. It's been long enough. I get he's probably saving it for when they get back and then we fight Emu. It's Oda logic. I know, doesn't mean I have to like it. The reveal of Ragnar being the cutest fucking Devil Fruit weapon we've ever seen. Also, his hybrid form, Ragnar's hybrid form fucking got me. I'm not gonna lie. Like the little hammerhead, that is hilarious and kind of reminds me of Odin. I'm not gonna lie. But nonetheless, like, that was cool. The learning the Conqueror's Hockey stuff was cool, but I'm ready to get back to Elbaf. I think that flashback fatigue is still hitting me pretty hard. That said, I'm glad we've got the full story with Loki. We know how things went down with Harold, and I think what I'm most excited for with this chapter is knowing that conversation with Loki and Heijruden is about to happen, that I've been waiting for since the start of the arc, and they set up this brotherly turmoil. I'm very, very excited to see how this all plays out. But I think it's a solid chapter, 7, maybe even a 7.5. It was a decent chapter, a soft chapter to end off on the year with a very heavy emotional weight to it at the same time.
And then listen, all I'm gonna say is, Brooke might have a new musical partner with Ragnar. He's got Ragnar the Chipmunk. For those who get it.
Yeah. I got you. But with that, I think we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. I appreciate y'all coming out and watching today. If you've not followed StrawHatLucas, I always mispronounce your name, brother. I'm sorry. Who was popping off in the chat today? Make sure you do so. Great content creator, great VTuber. Has a lot of dope streams. Cube, you want to say bye to the people before I sign us off?
Yeah, everyone. So most likely next stream will be the new year. So have a great end of the year, guys.
Yeah.
Stay blessed. Stay safe on these streets, especially New Year's, guys. Yeah, we'll catch you guys soon.
Yep. And with that, more importantly than anything I said or Cube said in the entire stream, I want y'all to have a wonderful, wonderful night. Bye.